Well, greetings to all. Good morning. May the abundance of the universe be with you. I am the P-B-S DIGIPRENEUR, messenger. I'm not sent per se. As you can see, I've been here for some time. But I do believe I was placed many eons ago to experience the universe, and that the wisdom of those experiences resides within me and has been unlocked. One of the main requisites of this journey has been to understand my current manifestation as a spirit embodied in the flesh. It has been tumultuous, marked by beginnings of brutality and continued abandonment and betrayal throughout my growth. My separation from family was wrought with trauma, and my arrival into the adult world was like a tumbling pinball, continuously falling or tilting, being rejected, and having to start over. Am I a bad person? Well, if you're asking me, no. Ask a lot of other people, and I'm sure you're going to get a different answer. The point is that as a child of God, my awakening has brought to me an understanding that my life has been one that was the one of training in adversity to fulfill a calling that I did not understand and could not have been told or would not have been fully equipped as I am now to carry out my mission. As I said, I started off and continue to live an adverse life. However, I want to say this much. This is why we're here. Throughout that entire time, and as many times as I might have not admitting anything, not to you anyway, I might have actually said, this isn't working. I called on God. From the very beginning as a child, I understood that the world was not it didn't seem real to me when I was young, very, very young. It seemed surreal. I couldn't understand why people acted so strangely, smiling in one instance and frowning in another, shouting and screaming in anger, despair, and then singing in another. You know, it just, those things didn't. And then I started to grow up and started to understand life, and the intensity of those things somewhat dulled, but the curiosity as to how we function never. And I became very, very curious and very interested in knowing about myself and about life and people. So I did start looking at things, and at that age, the only thing that I could really find, I looked through encyclopedias, and we didn't have a whole lot at that time. I went to the library, I had a public library card, and I spent many hours in the library. We had a library at home that was constantly filled with books. that I read, knew the dictionary, knew the Bible. And that's what I want to say is the Bible started to point to the promise of some differences for man. And on the basis of them believing in God, which at the time was somewhat of a known thing to me, but I'm not, to the degree that I really understood exactly. That it was saying you have to live your life a certain way. And a lot of people think that way is this, outward appearance of holiness and cleanliness, chastity, etc., etc. Those things are very important. I mean, for character and for grace, for harmony, yes, peace, to create. But you understand that the Ecclesiastes said that there's nothing new under the sun, and that all things in moderation. This is the thing where we become hedonists and hoarders, gluttons, selfish. These attributes are what have developed our current state of affairs. And so I digress. But yes, I learned about the Bible. I learned there was this promise of a better life. So I studied that and I was like, how come there ain't nothing else saying this stuff? And I was young, pretty young at that point in time. And then my dad drank and my mom would go to church, but you don't really, she dressed up. I thought it was a fashion show. Everybody was dressed up. I'm not saying that her salvation wasn't in that. I'm not saying that. I'm saying that it was, to me as a kid, it was a spectacular event of fashion. Because, I had to sit on a wooden pew in some stiff suit that they put me in. And I didn't understand what they were saying. Oh. So, okay, so moving from there, the schools. Okay. How did I do in school? Oh, academically? No problem. Scholastically, I did well. Behaviorally, got quite a few checkers in there, suspensions. I think I got one expulsion at the end of high school for getting into a confrontation with the senior administrative staff. And I was accused of violence, which wasn't the case. It was a kid just defending himself. Uh, that was school. What my actual educational status is, I'm at a college education, which is bolstered by 5 decades of in-field experience and application and continuing education. So I may not have a current foundational education to the degree that that's what I've been taught in a 4-year university as the latest curriculum, but I do have a foundation and a continuing status of education. That being said, I find that most of what unless I'm getting into the sciences and medicines and pharmacological, very highly technical things, we start talking social and spiritual issues, they remain much the same. Now, what happens as these other things that I mentioned increase in power and intensity? But your spirit remains the same. Some of these things that don't change, if you think you don't change, people say, I never change, Really? These issues are relevant to becoming an adult because as an adult we become responsible. So we're supposed to know what to do, when to do, how to do it, and get it done. And do it right. So in the adult status, and you got to be really careful with choosing someone who's been incomplete, as it were. It's a very important thing. And because we feel that way. We can have best jobs. You'll hear people say, oh man, this thing is so fulfilling. 2 years, 3 years, 4 years. Suicide. That is, to me, a very alarming cry of incompleteness in terms of someone who seemed to have it all. And even portrayed that. Look at the lifestyles of some of the people who have passed amongst us who were very high profile. Look at the background of the things that were going on in their lives. Bill Hartman, absolute tragedy. These are older examples. We've got plenty of new ones. Not really trying to bring the latest and greatest. You have to excuse me. I've been dealing with some issues lately. Visual. But it is a revelation that as an adult, you can learn what your resiliency is because you're going to get smacked. Some people think they're exempt, and maybe they become insulated, but I don't think they're exempt. I think they just have enough insulation that they can ward off and hold off these attacks and onslaughts on who they are because they're paying the price. But poor people, the average Joe, got to get up and go to work, punch a clock, listen to somebody tell him what to do who doesn't really know what to do, and then get it done, and then have the credit taken by the one who told him to do it that didn't know what to do, and not receiving the worker share of the profits. So, there's so many imbalances that we have to deal with. And I think it's the point of spirituality that has been attacked. And it's at a higher level that we don't understand. So we continuously look at each other as the progenitors of our problem. Oh, you're the one that, you're over there and you voted for that. And you're this and I'm that. And we're not around each other. And our kids go to the same schools, go to the same churches, shop at the same grocery stores, use the same systems. But no, I'm not like you. And this is the kind of thing that has transpired in our society to the point degree that now we're in a place where we're confused and everybody's accusing the other of being the culprit. And I thought of all these things. And I think of them. I ponder and I pray and I meditate. I stay mindful. And I try to create insight that brings about a clarity, a filtering, taking away the things that are of the value. And this is the thing that we have to teach and understand this. We store up all the things that are totally cluttering our minds up with hate, discontent, anxiety, lack of faith. We got no room for anything good because we're so busy trying to think we're getting rid of or stuffing down. You ignore it, it'll go away because you locked it in the basement. Everybody say, "Oh, what's your leg twitching for? Why's your eye glitching?" These things are relevant. We need to understand how we bottle kinetic negative energy and do not discharge it, and it has led to a anxiety in our society, a kinetic anxiety that's created a resonance that has allowed for forces of evil to envelop and invade our psyche and souls. I mean, huh? I'm the messenger. I've been given this understanding. My responsibility is to share it. A lot of people want to know about me. I'll give more details as time passes. This particular session, the background information, is complete. It's about me, myself, and I, and the Lord. Because as I've said, throughout this entire experience, it's been obvious to me that I'm different. It seemed that everybody else wanted to say as much. And I wanted to deny it. I wanted to fight back. No, let me be the same as you. I got accused of not wanting to be what I am. You want to be something else. No, I just want to be me and everybody to recognize me. That was the thing to begin with. And then it happened. I became aware of my identity to the degree that it didn't seem that it was necessary for anybody else to make sure I knew who I am. So I wasn't looking for somebody to say, hey, you tell me who I am. Oh, you know me? Oh, cool. I'm somebody. For some reason lost that whole need to be known thing. Yeah, people know me. I've had many friends throughout life. Somewhat sadly, I don't have as many. On the other hand, I'm not traumatized by the separations and the losses. Very important people have been lost. They've passed on. Others are in their elder years and spending their time enjoying their latter part of life. I hope if any of those people that are seeing this are seeing this, have a wonderful, wonderful life, and it be abundant. It be filled with the blessings and the joy that you want. And that all the experiences that are part of this material realm that you wanted to experience, you've experienced. It seems to me that I can think back, and I have had encounters with very few, direct encounters, with very few people who met me that did not like me or vibe with me. Very few. I maybe count them on both hands. That's a good thing, because so many of us run across this. It's the principalities of the world, the agencies, the bureaus, the institutions, the enclaves, the cabals, the special interest, the think tanks. These are the things that set the negative distinctions of have and have not. and have created a world that is separated amongst itself with strife, anxiety, jealousy. We're irritated by our neighbor getting a new lawnmower. Oh, he's out there acting kind of right. We can't be at. Oh gosh, yeah, that guy works hard. It's pretty good for him to be able to sit down on a lawnmower, so push that lawnmower after he's worked all hard. No, we can't do that. That's too expensive for us to give out that praise and that support. We've lost our spirituality because corporate has made us competitive to the degree that you think you're better than me because you have better tires or more expensive car. You're in a country club. You fly first class. Oh yeah, we see you at the steakhouse all the time. No, coming out, we never go in. We can't afford it. But these distinctions are used to lord. You know, you don't have no ice cream. You on welfare. This is the state of affairs that we're at, that I've observed, that I've come to the conclusion is part of the mission that I'm on to overthrow. I'm not going to say, oh, change. I'm saying overthrow it. Knock it down. Ain't you tired of it? Same old thing every day, day in, day out, same holidays, same celebration. Only thing changes is the cost. Increases every year. Some years it's like, damn, it's almost twice as much as last year. So what does that mean? It's an extraction. We've been living as an extractive source, from those that hate God. Stuck the catheters of extraction into our souls and our hearts and our minds and have kept it on 24-hour processing. 365. We have to understand. We have to think a little bit further than the daily angst of, oh, where's my bread? The Bible tells us to, worry ye not. Worry not where your next meal's coming, or if you're praising the Lord, these things will be added to you. Seek first the kingdom is within you, and all else will be added to you. Here's our problem. Individually, we don't see a collective. Therefore, we don't have a collective because we don't have individuals who are seeking one another, who have discovered their light, who know that light belongs to everyone and wants to share it. When you know your light's there, it's hard to hide it. You feel guilty, and you should. Well, I better back up. But give it some consideration. Give it as much consideration to the validity as wanting someone to correct your name, pronounce your name correctly. Just a simple thing. Give it some consideration. Could your spirituality be the key to uplifting humanity? Is it me, myself, I, and the Lord? How about us? What happened to us? The one thing. Starts with the me, myself, I, and the Lord. Then we find each other. We acknowledge each other. We praise the Lord together. We raise our harmony. We increase our spirit. We ascend. We become part of the galactic cosmology. And we become our rightful position within that galactic order. There's a part Well, I'm bored and beginning to understand what the New Age is all about. It is absolutely beautiful. We're going to talk more about me, myself, I, and the Lord. I'm the P-B-S DIGIPRENEUR. Talk to you guys later.